What up, world? We back here with part 2 of this video of the Untold Whitney Houston, Jermaine Jackson. So far, we are getting a backstory on Maga Jackson's life and how he became this guy. And right now, it's showing that, I don't know if the facts are real, but Jermaine Jackson and Whitney Houston, maybe it's something that, some type of publicity. I don't know, publicity. But right now, he looked just like Jermaine Jackson. He looked just like Jackson. So, let me fix my posture. Let's get straight to it, part 2.
Whitney Houston and Jermaine Jackson affair and clarifies the story of Andre Vann aka Gepetto Jackson. But it gets more interesting. The news comes back on again and Vann has a warrant for his arrest in Connecticut and Massachusetts.
Dude, what is he going to jail for?
He runs to Texas to a girl who he has trusted over the internet to keep him safe until he is able to get the restitution, so he doesn't remain in jail. Once he gets to Texas, the young lady receives him with open arms and lets him stay at the house. The mother is also receiving, but little does Vann know that he would wake up the next morning to police officers at the door to finally put him in cuffs.
I'm confused on what the freak you going to jail for. Dude, what are you going to jail for, man? Huh? And then fix his lighting. What you going to jail for, man?
And once again, he makes the news in New Braunfels, Texas. 30 days after the extradition to Massachusetts, weeks later, Vann aka Gepetto Jackson was released and ordered to turn himself into Connecticut a week later to pay the restitution in full. So Vann went to New Jersey trying to make money with his producer friend in Paterson, New Jersey, but didn't have enough time. Vann asked his lawyer to extend his court date, but it didn't work out and they put another warrant out for his arrest. Vann was arrested in Paterson, New Jersey and extradited back to Connecticut after 30 days. When arriving to Connecticut, the judge made Vann sit for 5 months in the county before shipping him to Massachusetts to serve county time. It was then Vann aka Gepetto Jackson.
Hey, this is real too. I don't know if this part real, but as far as like him and Whitney Houston, Jermaine Jackson affair causing having a baby, and the baby is, the guy I've been reacting to, but he did go to jail. I did see some pictures of his on IG, I believe. He did go to jail.
Jackson had found Islam and took his shahada with Imam named Nasif Muhammad from Masjid al-Aziz, but he was the prison imam. When shipping him to Massachusetts, Vann decided to serve 60 days for his violation in Massachusetts, and the judge had announced that Vann had another warrant in Florida and would be extradited after serving his time.
Nigga, how many times you going to jail? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Not only did they extradite him this time, but on the back of a truck for a week straight, going to different county jails until they reached Florida. When he finally got to the county jail in Florida without any relatives available, so he sat in the county for a few months. It was here where he met another Imam, Hatem Hamdullah, who had invited Vann to come to his masjid when he bailed out of the county. Vann took him up on the invite, and this time he took his shaved inside of a masjid on camera. Leaving the county jail, Vann fell in contact with a lady by the name of Tanae Jackson, who was on a reality show with the second-generation Jacksons.
Oh, shoot.
She wanted Vann by her side before the DNA test results were revealed, and Vann had moved his probation from Florida to Massachusetts with his mother. He flew to New York, where him and Tanae would spend time with each other hotel to hotel, keeping each other company. She specifically states that Vann has done more for her than her own family. When the test results came back that Tanae Jackson was not Tito Jackson's daughter, Vann remained by her side, catering to Tanae as they eventually turned the family ship into romance until he had to report to probation.
I ain't gonna lie to you, this music is keeping me up, like, cause I'm over here like, there's a lot going on in this story. It's a whole lot going on.
Once he left from New York, Vann reported to probation in Massachusetts, where he was arrested once again on Florida charges, this time in
how many times you going to jail, bruh? How many times are you going to jail?
Kissimmee, Florida.
God.
Waiting 30 days again to be extradited in the back of the truck. Vann prepared a lawyer this time. Once he arrived at the prison for his hearing, he was told his bond was $200,000 and there was no way that he could bail out. He paid his lawyer for a bail hearing, and when it came time for the hearing, news cameras were waiting on him and the victim to keep him buried in prison. Weeks later, he was finally set free thanks to a close friend. However, after he was released, Vann found out that Tanae had turned his back on him while he was in prison, sleeping with political connections he knew and slandering his name. Katherine Jackson's cousin Michael Gordon reached out to Vann and told him if he wanted to meet his other side of the family to focus his musical talent. Vann agreed to go to Arizona, and when arriving the first day, first cousin Sean Jackson, the son of Luther Jackson, Joe Jackson's brother, made the video that would shock the internet, calling Gepetto Jackson his relative. Sean also brought him to his niece's house, who is LaToya Jackson, the granddaughter of Luther, and then she also stated, "We do not need a DNA test." Then Sean takes Vann aka Gepetto to Joe Jackson's brother and calls him his great-nephew. Vann was making trips to Arizona without telling his probation officer that he was leaving the county. Sean's wife Bertha and LaToya had an inside beef, and they both wanted Vann for themselves because they knew his value and the story behind him. Sean Jackson even went as far as saying Michael Jackson's spirit, as in Vann aka Gepetto. Behind the scenes, Vann was going from LaToya's house and Sean's house back and forth without telling either of them.
Shoot.
He was just happy to be around his family and didn't want to rub anybody wrong. LaToya and Sean both signed notarized papers confirming Vann was a Jackson. Sean's notarized paper even went as far as saying he gave Vann the name Gepetto. When Vann left Arizona for good after purchasing $10,000 in equipment for Sean to make music.
Vann, where did you get the money from, bruh? You've been in jail every single freaking month. You in jail. How did you get the money?
Sean's wife Bertha forced her husband Sean to put a video disowning him because she found out he was helping LaToya's career. LaToya also eventually turned her back on Vann over the accusations of her and Vann having sexual relations while being around each other constantly. Even caused a breakup with her marriage. There was only one man who stayed loyal through it all, dismissing all claims from his family in Arizona, and that was Jay Hostile Jackson, when he took an interview side by side with Vann aka Gepetto Jackson, confirming he was family and that was his cousin regardless of the dismissals of his other family members. However, none of it was enough for the sentencing of Andre Vann aka Gepetto Jackson on the day of April 7, 2017, when he was sentenced to 5 years in prison. No notary, DNA proof, or cosign. The question remains why Jermaine Jackson hasn't spoken out publicly to confirm or deny him, and why would Leola state that his mother is confidential? That's
if this is true or if it's false. Bruh, you know a lot of history about the Jacksons, bruh. You know a whole lot of history.
Because Whitney Houston was his blood mother and it was to remain confidential. So that's it for today. What do you think of our video? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video,
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, that was very interesting. You get a lot of respect, bruh. Even if it's not real, I don't know what to believe anymore. You've been in jail every month. But, yeah. But anyways, man, keep looking out for his music. Make sure you follow him on Instagram, Maga Jackson. Let's get it. Let's go. Trump 2024. Let's go.